Hey Blake, Micah Collins here. I spoke with Nathan the other day about getting this video over to you. I hope it brings some value to you. But essentially, I'm going to give you the three things that will set your company above your competition, not waste any more of your time or mine. All right. Now you're probably sitting there asking yourself, why am I even doing this and what's in it for me? Well, the truth is, oftentimes in the world of the internet, Blake, a lot of business owners are just simply too busy running their own business to learn how the internet can benefit them and their company. So I have found that by giving people an easy free attack plan of actual things they can do to impact their own business for free, it results in some of those local business owners at the end still raising their hands and saying, you know what, Micah, I like you. Want to just take care of this for me? So, Blake, if by the end of this video you like what you've heard and you can see I have a lot of tricks up my sleeves that can help impact your business, you can shoot me a quick message and we could chat. Or if you simply want to take this free attack plan and do these things yourself, dude, I'm totally cool with that, whatever's best for your business. So, without any further ado, let's hop right in. So, the first thing I want to go with you today is your content, all right? So, your content game is pretty solid overall compared to your competition. Now, I don't usually do this with everybody. I usually just use like one competition in the area. But since you do so much of like split right down the middle of dumpster rental and junk removal, I'm going to take Junk King in Oklahoma City and Waste Management in Oklahoma City and compare you to both of those to see how you can get more calls every single month. All right. So, first off, just taking like Junk King compared to you. You have a decent amount, especially on your homepage. You have a decent amount, about 1,000 words I was looking of content here on your homepage, which is pretty good. It's everything you see, all the words right here is all content, all right? If we hop over to your junk removal page, you have a little bit of content. A lot of it's, repetitive content with the reviews and all that. That's just the same as your homepage, so it's not like unique content. I would say you might get a little bit more words here on especially on the junk removal area to start ranking that a little bit more unless you're specifically like targeting just junk removal with your homepage. You want to have at least one page just specifically junk removal that is like absolutely dialed in with about 1,500 to 2,000 words ideally. I mean, really, for the Oklahoma City area, you may even want to go 2,500 words, as we will see with Junk King. They have about 2,000 words, and they're only targeting junk removal in the Oklahoma City area. I mean, they are a national company, but I want you to put the national side aside because that doesn't really matter when we're talking about a local service like junk removal Oklahoma City. It doesn't matter that they're a national company. Sure, they have bigger budgets, but they're spreading that budget across all of these different cities, all right? You can 100% beat them in your local area. So we can see if we look at their content, they definitely have more than you. I looked it up. It's about like 2,000 words of quality content here. So I would recommend, getting a little bit more dialed in for specifically the junk removal side of that. Dumpster rental, you're already beating waste management on the content game, so no need to worry there on that. Again, they're a huge national company, but don't be intimidated by that because local dumpster rental companies all the time beat national companies in their area. It's definitely not impossible. So, for instance, if we hop over to this little tool I use, it's called Ahrefs. It runs about a couple $100 a month. You can get for yourself on Ahrefs.com, but I love this tool, or SEMrush too. I love these tools because they allow you to look behind the scenes of everything Google's looking at when it comes to your website, okay? So if we look at the data on your website, put your site in, we see that you're ranking for 56 organic keywords. You're getting a decent amount of traffic on your website again. 192 people every single month. But we want to, look at this and see how we can maximize it, right? So if we look at the keywords you're being found for, we see fairly good keywords here. You're already doing a pretty decent job. Dumpster rental, Edmond, Oklahoma. It's searched 250 times a month. You get 35 of those people on your own website, but you're on the fourth position. Again, it's not bad, but there's definitely room to grow because the top guy, is usually getting about a third. The guy who's on top on Google, he's usually getting about a third of the clicks. So you could be getting, closer to like 70 or 80 clicks on your website from that phrase alone instead of 35. You could easily double with that phrase alone. On call, junk call, that's not a local keyword. Junk call OKC, that's definitely one you could look at. 50 times a month, you get 18 of those. You're doing great on that one. That's number one. Um, that one doesn't have a local identifier. So whenever it doesn't have like Oklahoma or OKC or Edmond or, Norman, Moore, any of those, then we don't really look at that because it's a national keyword and those usually don't bring a whole lot of like quality calls, okay? When we look at things like junk call, Edmond, Oklahoma gets searched 30 times a month, you get 11 of those people, you're on the second position. That's great. But again, all in all, you're not getting a ton, as we will see with your like near as much as what the potential is. If we look over here to Junk King, we can see that they just do junk removal, right? No dumpster rentals. And they're getting 251 organic traffic on their website every single month. Now let's see the 18 keywords that are bringing that. And the number one keyword here is junk removal OKC. So if you want more junk removal jobs, this is the keyword you need to target really badly. This gets searched 300 times a month, and they get a third of those, a little over a third of those, because they're on the second position online. If you take this position, you will start taking that third of all the traffic from that phrase alone, and you'll get more brand awareness, right? It's a win-win situation. Junk removal Oklahoma City get searched 90 times a month. They get 34 of those people because they're on the second position. Again, their positioning is absolutely crushing it, but it's 100% beatable, as I will show you in just a moment. Now, if we hop over to now halfway through this, I'm switching over to EnviroDispose over Waste Management because they are local. It's a little bit easier to understand what's going on, to explain what's going on, I'm sorry. And they're actually doing better than Waste Management in the area. If we look at their hrefs themselves, we can see 334 organic keywords. They get 1.2 thousand people on their website every single month. Now let's see why. Okay. Now, EnviroDispose, they're a huge brand, right? They're going to get 300 people looking it up just alone. So we're not going to look at the 300, right? We want to look at the ones that we can take for ourselves. Dumpster Rental OKC gets searched 700 times every single month. So if you're wanting to target dumpster rentals in the area, this is the keyword to start ranking for, okay? 700 times a month. They get 120 because they're on the third position. Again, Waste Management gets like way more than that. I think they get like, 270. I forgot how much it was, but it is a lot on that one phrase alone. So that is a very, if you beat these companies in the dumpster rental space on Oklahoma City, you will 100% start just like absolutely multiplying your calls. 10-yard roll-off dumpster. Again, they're getting a lot of traffic from it, but that's not like somebody's looking to buy in the local area because it doesn't have OKC or Edmond or anything by it. Oklahoma dumpster rentals. Now that's a decent one. 100 times a month, they get 41 of those people because they're on the second position. Dumpster rental, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. 200 times it gets searched a month. They're getting 33 of those people because they're on the third position. Again, the number one and number two spot get way more than the third and below. So you really want to start like ranking up for those like top one and two spots. Blake, in doing all this, I just wanted to show you the potential that's sitting here in the Oklahoma City area. A lot of guys just don't know this because they never see the data, right? So I just wanted to show you the raw data of how many more like calls you could be getting every single month. I mean, realistically, you could easily take another like 100 from the junk removal side if you wanted. If you don't want to focus on junk removal, don't just go for dumpster rental ones. But yeah, you could easily get way more people from dumpster rentals on your website every single month, just like these guys are doing. Again, 900 of that is simply from local keywords. So 900 extra traffic every single month would just be absolutely like, how many calls would that be? How many dumpster rentals would that be? All right, and just to do something a little bit different, I'm just going to go with Junk King. So junk removal for the instance of this video. Again, this applies exactly the same for dumpster rentals, but we're just going to take this keyword and pretend we're a customer, okay? And we just pop this into Google. Pretend we're wanting junk removal in Oklahoma City. Okay, the first section we see is the ad section. Now, these can be good, but statistically, only 10 to 20% of all the clicks end up actually going to the ad section. It's crazy. You can look it up on Google. It's really not that good. I mean, it can be for shorter spurts. It can be worth your money, but I wouldn't recommend it long term because, once you stop paying for Google, Google stops, paying for you. Now, if we scroll down, this actually gets 40 to 44% of all the clicks end up going here to the map back. And this brings me to the second thing I wanted to speak with you today, and that is what we call citations. All right. So if we hop over to Junk King, Oklahoma City, we can immediately see their name, their address, and their phone number listed right here on Google. This is what we call the NAP, or the NAP, the name, address, phone number. And why this matters is because that's how Google verifies your local listing online. All right. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck, Micah? Like, what does this NAP and citation stuff have anything to do with getting me here? I thought it was just reviews. Well, I'm going to show you just now exactly how it works with this little chart. Now, don't take this for design tips. We put this up in a few minutes and on Canva, but it gets the point across, right? If we look over here, the name, address, phone number needs to be listed consistently. Your name, address, and phone number listed consistently across all these different directories. We call them citations. Google Places being Yelp, Merchant Circle, Switchboard, the BBB, and the list just goes on for hundreds of these. All right. So what Google is doing, let me try to explain it for you without confusing you. Google's sending their bots out to all these different directories or citations, as you might call them, and they're searching for people's name, address, and phone number to be consistent throughout because they're looking for companies they can trust, right? And the more Google can find you across the web with your name, address, phone number consistent throughout, the more they will trust you and put you higher in the map pack. And the more that it's like confusing, like your name's different on this one, a letter different, and your phone number's a little different on this one, or your address is different on this one over here, Google don't know whether to trust you, so you need to get those cleaned up so you can start getting more money that way. So that is definitely the most important factor to getting you on the map pack. But of course, reviews matter. I'm not going to act like they don't. But for instance, like Junk King, Oklahoma City has less 5-star reviews than On Call, but they're still ranked higher. That is because their citations are more dialed in, if that makes sense. But yes, getting those reviews up is another huge factor. You got to have reviews, you got to have your products listed out, and you got to do regular posting like they are right here. All these factors come together to build you a really strong online maps presence, okay? Now, if we just scroll down to the organic section, this is the most valuable section of Google. A lot of people say it's dead, but it's just simply not true. The results, like on Google, say that a lot of times almost 30% of all the clicks end up going to the top like 2 positions right here. So this is really a place that you gotta be, but to get here, you need authority with Google, all right? But to get this authority, you need what we call backlinks. This brings me to the third thing I wanted to speak with you today. And essentially what it is like whenever website A points to site B, then site A is giving site B some of its link juice or like a vote of confidence in Google's eyes from one website to the other. And the more relevant the site A is pointing to site B, the more valuable that link is to Google, if that makes sense. If I could just give you a visual here for a moment. For instance, you get like a junk removal blog or any type of industry type site that has to do with your business pointing to you guys, and that's awesome. Google has a lot of value there. But if you do a job for, I don't know, Pizza Hut, you do a clean out for them, or you lend some random company a dumpster and they send a backlink back to your website, well, it doesn't matter because you don't sell pepperoni pizzas. You do junk removal and you do dumpsters. So there's no correlation there. So there's no power. All right. And hopping back over to Ahrefs, it also allows you to see behind the scenes what backlinks you have and your competition, what backlinks they have, and see where the gap is. Okay. So right now you have 547 backlinks. That's true. But the real backlinks that matter to us is the referring domains, because those are the unique backlinks. Okay. I'm not going to go into all the tech of why that matters, but it does matter. Referring domains are the most important part here. Right now, you have 60 referring domains pushing power to your website. If we go to Junk King and go to theirs, they only have 15. But again, their content game is really dialed in. So you're going to get your junk removal content game dialed in, like I said earlier. But if we hop over to Enviro Dispose, they have 396 referring domains pushing power to their website, which is, really getting them ranking above you for dumpster rentals. Now, if you want to get more of these dumpster rentals, you need to get these backlinks for yourself. Now, how you do this, I'm going to show you exactly boots on the ground how it is done. You just get ahrefs.com or SEMrush, any of the popular tools. You just pay a couple $100, put in your competition here into that search bar, and then you'll see this backlink section right here in this referring domains. You want to click on the referring domains, okay? Click on that and just go down and get any of these backlinks for yourself. This is every single one that they have pushing power to their own website, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not boring you to death. If we hop over here, just click on Proven Expert, for instance. You can actually get this for yourself. You can see your competition here doing dumpster rentals. Enviro Dispose LLC has this backlink pushing to their own website. See websites right here? You click on that, it goes back to their site. So that's a backlink pushing power to their site. Now you can kind of see the correlation between backlinks and power. Now how you get something like this for yourself is you just see that I want that too. And you go over here and you get this backlink for yourself. There's going to be a place to be able to put in your business information right here. 5 stars for your business. Yeah. And I already had a guy that was signed into this. I've put a couple people on this, but this is just one of the many backlinks you can get. And you just get like a free version Honestly, you just get a free version and you can get that backlink for yourself. Every link's different, I'll be honest, but they're all pretty easy to get like this. So all you got to do is get this backlink for yourself and continue that process across all of these different sites, and you will 100%, you add those backlinks to what you already have and you will start dominating them on Google hands down. All right, Blake, so hopefully you can see by now, like, getting you to the top on Google and getting more calls every single month for dumpster rental or junk removal is not impossible. It's just a method, and I've shown you that method here today. So once again, we went over number one was your content. You want to have your junk removal site. If you're wanting to grow the junk removal site, you need to add more junk removal type content, okay? With phrases mixed in like junk removal OKC. Have about 1500, excuse me, to 2000 words to do with junk removal. And dumpster rentals, same thing. Just go through, make sure you have those specific keywords that I showed you that were like dumpster rentals OKC. You want to get those things put on your website so Google starts finding you for them. And number two was your citations. And you have more of those directories with your name, address, phone number listed consistently throughout, so Google starts pushing you higher in the map pack. And number three was the backlinks, and you have more of those relevant websites pointing to you guys than your competition has, to show Google that you are the authority junk removal or dumpster rental guys here in the Oklahoma City area. And if you implement these strategies today, you will 100% dominate across Google, hands down. Start taking that, another 700 clicks to your website every single month. You can imagine how many calls that is, right? Now you're probably sitting there asking yourself, well, what now, Micah? Well, the truth is, you can either take this information, dude, and do this on your own. I'm totally cool with that. However, if you want the most fast and effective route and to save yourself the time of doing it all, you can just give me a quick call at 918-260-1694. We can just kind of go over it and ask, find out where you're at and everything. Again, my name is Micah Collins, and that's 918-260-1694. Hey, Blake, I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you have a good one.